I'm Greg Chumley, Keypoint Intelligence Principal Analyst. In this video, we'll look at setting up PRISMAcolor Manager, exploring color verification results and historical trends, and the 4 ways to gather color verification data from digital presses. Let's start by logging into Prisma Home. Prisma Home has configuration panels for all the various applications and tools that have subscriptions, which in this case include Prisma Prepare, Prismalytics Accounting, and PRISMAcolor Manager. Prisma Home is also where PSPs register and link digital presses to work with the various Prisma Home applications and tools. We have 2 presses registered on this demo site. Let's launch PRISMAcolor Manager and get started. PRISMAcolor Manager has functionalities in a collapsible menu at the left. Opening them creates tiles across the top. Clicking on a tile populates the context-sensitive area below. Also, you can freely move things around to create a layout that appeals to you. You only need to set all this up once and will normally use your defined test specification and color tests for color verifications, but let's go ahead and set one up just to show you how it's done. We start by importing a color test specification, even though we already have one. Open the PRISMAcolor Manager configuration panel. Select the top submenu on the left called Test Specifications to view a list of pre-formulated industry test specifications. For this demonstration, I'm interested in achieving a certification set of criteria called IDEA Alliance Digital Press Certification, based upon the most popular reference print condition in the States, Crackle 2013 coded. I locate it in the list and import it. Now, supervisors can click the Edit button to look at the tolerance sets, reference value sets, evaluation notes, measurement modes, and other specifications if desired, but they probably won't need to do so. The test specification is now in the system, and we can begin using it. Next, we need to select a color test. There are already 2 in the system, but I'll make a new one to demonstrate the process. I pick a test specification, and I'm going to select Uncoded from the media substrate list. Now, I want to point out that this list is not linked to any press's media catalog. However, aligning these with your media families is a best practice if you own Canon presses. Next, choose a press from the list registered in Prisma Home, and then give the color test a name. That's it. PRISMAcolor Manager is now ready to begin gathering, displaying, and managing color verification data. It can do this using any of 4 verification workflows to support almost any press, including offset and wide format devices. Direct Print, a highly automated workflow initiated by PRISMAcolor Manager, where color patch sheets are submitted to PrismaSync-driven or Fiery-driven Canon presses for printing and hand scanning. PRISMAcolor Manager even chooses the correct color simulation settings for the operator, delivering an automated solution for one of the most technically challenging aspects of the color validation process. PrismaSync Import, a fully automated workflow initiated by PrismaSync to automatically print, scan, and upload color patch sheets on PrismaSync-driven Canon ImagePress V presses with inline spectrophotometers. Download Chart, initiated by PRISMAcolor Manager, where it generates color patch sheet PDF files that include the 4-digit ID shortcode to download for manual printing and hand scanning on non-Canon digital presses. The ID shortcode simplifies input scanning by linking the database record associated to this color validation test to provide the system all the test parameters. And manual, where press operators manually generate, print, and scan color patch sheets for any press, which is primarily beneficial to users who are already dedicated to using industry standard color control regs for whatever reason. Let's see how they work. Here's the direct print workflow. Start by printing a chart on the target press from PRISMAcolor Manager by clicking Print Chart, selecting a color test, and choosing the paper desired for the test from the press's media catalog. At this point, everything is ready to print, although I can open a window that includes printing instructions if I want to see them. Clicking Print sends a color patch sheet to the press. In this case, the patch sheet is going to a PrismaSync server, but I'll show you how it works with the Fiery in a moment. I'll use Prisma Remote Manager to see the print job. Notice the shortcode 9332 in the file name. That code is also printed on the color patch sheet. After my operator receives the printed color patch sheet, she enters the unique shortcode into the PRISMAcolor Manager measurement application. This links the measurements to the correct database entry. PRISMAcolor Manager is connected to her management tool via a small cloud connector that runs on Windows and Macs. And then she starts the measurement process. She initializes her spectrophotometer and measures the color patch sheet by hand. When she's done, we see that the press passed color verification. The tool grades each test with an A, B, or fail. PRISMAcolor Manager displays a summary of the 4 types of colorimetric tests along with their tolerances, which can be sorted by any column. It also displays individual color patch measurement results that are sortable by any column to quickly identify any outlier results. This simplifies finding which color patch is causing a problem. PRISMAcolor Manager can also show the historical data for this press. We can see today's data along with previous verification tests from this press with all sorts of flexibility. For example, if we change the date range from May 6th through 10th, we can see how this press was uncalibrated and brought into conformance over the course of those 4 days. Now let's try this workflow with a fiery-driven Canon press. As you can see, the direct print method still works. There's a paper catalog on the fiery DFE, which in this case only has 1 entry. I print to it and come over to Command Workstation on the fiery controller. We see the chart arrives on the DFE for my operator to print and measure the same way as with the PrismaSync-driven Canon press. Again, my operator didn't have to set any of the print parameters, simplifying the process and eliminating errors. PrismaSync-driven Canon presses have inline spectrophotometers that can do the color patch scanning for the operators. The PRISMAcolor Manager driver for connecting from the cloud through PrismaSync to the Canon image press inline spectrophotometer will not be available until the next software release, but there is a way to use the ILS right now. In this second workflow called PrismaSync Import, PrismaSync initiates the verification process and pushes the data to the PRISMAcolor Manager in the cloud. In the PrismaSync Import workflow, the press operator initiates the verification process from the control panel of the PrismaSync server driving a Canon Image Press V. She goes to the System menu, opens the Media Catalog, picks the desired paper, which opens a menu. She selects Validate Color at the bottom of the menu list, opens a submenu from the Color Validation menu, containing a series of color validation tests. Scrolls through the list and selects the desired test, which in this case is Grackle 2013 Coded Digital Press Certification. She clicks OK and hits Next. PrismaSync then prints and scans a test sheet and uploads the results to PRISMAcolor Manager. The entire process takes 3 to 5 minutes with no additional operator involvement. Once it's done, the screen displays the results with a pass-fail grade and the key metrics. Notice the text at the bottom of the screen confirming the results were sent to PRISMAcolor Manager. Once the results arrive in PRISMAcolor Manager, everything works like before. The third workflow is designed for non-Canon presses that do not support the direct print capability. This download chart method generates color patch charts for downloading and printing on the desired press. It's not quite as automated as the direct print method, but it works with any CMY color press driven by a DFE with internal color management controls. I start by clicking Download Chart in PRISMAcolor Manager. I can view the printing instructions if I desire, and when I click Download, PRISMAcolor Manager produces and downloads a PDF of the color patch chart containing the 4-digit ID shortcode to my workstation. This code identifies the color validation test so that PRISMAcolor Manager can locate and link the associated database record containing all the test parameters and other information. Then I manually submit the PDF file to my press. I'd use this if I wanted the benefits of PRISMAcolor Manager on a non-Canon press configured into PRISMAcolor Manager. It's not as easy as the direct print method because I'd have to manually configure all the printer settings, such as the simulation profile, rendering intent, turning black point compensation off, and so forth, before manually submitting the file to the press. However, everything from this point on is the same as the direct print workflow. I enter in the unique 7272 code, scan the color patch sheet, and review the results in PRISMAcolor Manager. And to cover all the bases, Canon provides a fourth workflow called Manual Workflow that uses a standard color chart downloaded from Idea Alliance or elsewhere that you can print on your press. In this workflow, your operator specifies a test condition to measure against, specifies the patch layout being measured, for example, an ISIS or OnePro configuration, enters how many samples to read and what sort of averaging to do on the samples, and then starts measuring. From this point on, everything works like the previous workflows. The manual workflow is useful for getting measurements from a standard control wedge on any printing system, including inkjet or offset litho presses, and uploading the measurement directly into PRISMAcolor Manager with all the measurement reporting consistency and historical validation results. As stated in the earlier videos, we find that PRISMAcolor Manager could be instrumental in getting PSPs to adopt and regularly utilize color management and verification. As these demonstrations show, PRISMAcolor Manager is easy to use and flexible enough to support almost any production press.